Hello, and welcome to another Rangaroo cast with me, Rangaroo. And today we are doing a 3v3 on Gunboat Diplomacy. So, on Team Run, on the Blufor side we have Brutoni, Flashpoint with a bunch of either Korean, Chinese or Japanese characters, and PONYPUNCHER, those poor ponies. And on Team 2, on the Redfor side we have Snakeshit, Storm to You, and AK Run 10. So, just a little bit of information on this map. There on Gunboat, our naval, on this bottom flank here. You can get boats, and usually the main combat revolves around this little island here. But if you have a riverine or coastal boat, you can move them all the way down here through this little river canal area and give some ground support to your ground units. And apart from that, it's usually this side here is not really pushed too much. Bridges kind of nasty to go through, and the main combat usually happens around Delta and Gulf, as Delta's a high value target, and both sides have equal access to said area. Well, actually Gulf, yeah. So let's speed things up and get things going. Sorry. And point their units. A lot of helicopters and PONYPUNCHER. Away we go. Now they have to actually buy a boat right off the bat. You can't actually deploy them during the deployment phase. So they're going to have to buy a boat ASAP. And PONYPUNCHER is going to be flying over. Trying to get into go for Delta. Redfor going for a bit more of a ground push. They do have some Mi-24Ds, so pretty nasty helicopters to go up against. We got a Tornado ECR. Trying to find any seed targets, but does not. PONYPUNCHER is going to be landing into Gulf. Yeah, it's Gulf. Into this little, is that an industrial area? Yeah, it does seem so. That's an industrial area. Landing into the Mi-24Ds, getting to the alpha side of Delta, losing run helicopter already. This ninja ain't gonna have any of that bollocks, and it shoots both of them down. Pretty awesome, a little Japanese helicopter, very similar to the Cobra, but its run actually has just Stinger missiles, and it's recon, so it's like a pimped out OH, as I like to think of it. Yak 38 dropping some nate, trying to get the infantry. Just get shot down in the process though. Tan-SAMs and P-SAMs there to shoot him. And Redfor are going to be taking control over Delta. They got their side and they do have a command vehicle in there. That's given a +4 advantage at the moment. But they don't really have any navy. Same with Blufor. Both sides not really focusing on the water. Bit of slowdown, yeah, a bit of lag. We do have Baykuk and Samsuris. Pretty small coastal boats, not great ground bombardment range, but they are pretty good at shooting down enemy missiles. So they're going to be wriggling array all the way into the enemy alpha. They're going to shoot down that Mi-24P in the process. They're going to get in the ninja. And there these Concours in position, trying to snipe these Nanoneon Sickies. These are the 70-point Japanese tank. Pretty lightly armoured, okay gun, but they have a grenade launcher instead of a machine gun. An automatic grenade launcher for their anti-aircraft gun. I can't really complain. I would want a grenade launcher on a tank as well. You have a bunch of Spetsnaz doing an open ground push here. 4 squads of them, that is some pretty expensive units. And they're going to be trying to get hold of this ground here. Now, because they are moving, they can't actually use their napalm launcher. Only when they stand still can they actually fire the RPO. So once they get into the building, they should be able to wreak havoc on the rest of the infantry in here. Spetsnaz, taking some nasty damages, yeah, from that bombing run. And he just needs to press stop and then get inside the bloody building. But he's continuing moving them. Oh, yeah, he goes. Yeah, now garrisoned, and those hoodoos can say bye-bye. BTR-70 in a pretty sneaky position. He's going to get spotted by a Nana and gets automatic grenade launcher to death. A bunch of Humvees coming up. Yeah, these are Humvees, aren't they? Yeah, they are Humvees. Moving up into Delta, try to garrison this part a little bit more. Take back on the Navy side of things. This is what happens when you don't focus on Navy whatsoever. Even just like run Jing Shang Chu, because I knocked all these guys out. 160 point boat, pretty cheap. But now Blufor actually starting to get some landing craft out. Quite a few landing craft out. Now we're going to do some sneaky play into Alpha. And if they can get a ground bombardment ship, that'd be even better. Tornado ECR. Trying to snipe out Book. And that should get it. Yes, away it goes. Getting a good kill. Su-24M coming in. A good old Redfor carpet bomber. Never fails. And it's going to be targeting the Tan Sams. But, oh. Is that going to hit? Yeah, it's going to hit Tan Sams. They're going to live though. Not much HP. And Redfor really do have control over Delta. The Blufor infantry and Sentinel are pretty rubbish, or just not enough in quantity. See, Redfor just really focus all their money onto Delta. And now they actually have Gulf captured, and once I get the little CV guy in it, they're going to be gaining an awful lot more points, and it's not really looking good for Blufor at the moment. But Blufor do have the naval play, or the naval advantage at the moment, so if they can take advantage of that and try to get the enemy where it hurts, right into their flank, they could really bring themselves out of the stitch that they have dug themselves into. Got some more Baikus and another champs who are coming out. Really just liking these small coastal ships. Lafayette would probably be a pretty nice idea. It does have that very long range gun. Yeah, it can't go into the more lighter water here, it can only stay in the dark blue water. Raphael, keeping the skies clear. And there's more infantry guys being brought out to try and defend. Actually, quite a lot of infantry being brought out. And also, these Renshaws, actually don't see these guys being used too much. They're like a Japanese Ontos. It's not as good as the Ontos, it's still the same price. It's okay, it's actually a really rubbish unit, to be honest. But it looks really, really funky looking, as it has doubled recoilless rifles. Yeah, a silly looking tank. Seems like something out of like a World War II, like Japanese small tank, because the Japanese really liked their light tanks during World War II. This tank really resembles it. Resembles it quite well. More nanos being brought up. These ones, the standard one with Brown and anti-aircraft guns. Gonna be firing onto the Spetzer, some napalm onto Gulf. Got some BTR ATAs moving up. The BTRs are trying 30mm cannons, 30mm auto cannon actually, to be precise. And Blufor are going to be bringing up a CV to try and neutralise Gulf, as Redfor are gaining quite a good lead at the moment, already halfway to victory. Blufor just needs to stop him as long as they can. Tornado circling around, trying to pick off some few Oshers. And is going to be flying out of there. He's actually doing a very good job with that Tornado. Not really like suiciding it to its death, but being very cautious and just doing circles and not just flying straight over enemy AA. As it's usually a lot better if you have a longer range, more expensive seed aircraft to just circle around right at the edge of the enemy's AA range, because you can pop a few missiles, you fly around again, and you can pop the two other missiles and get a few kills that way. And we have a little LCM boat going across the river, saving Private Ryan style. They're going to be trying to do a landing, but we do have the German like, not really German, but we do have the opposing ground forces here. T-62s, a PT-71 and a T-72B, all equipped with ATGMs to try and knock these guys out of a long range. And these guys are going to be retreating back, try to do a different plan. Damn, those ATGMs just won't give up. Chasing them for dear life. Yak 38 going to be dropping some bombs, trying to get the Blufor CV. You know, that is going to be a miss. Actually getting the infantry. Not doing too much damage though, just panicking them up a wee bit. Now the great thing about these pseudos that I haven't really mentioned, they use a M67RR recoilless rifle. And that recoilless rifle has, I believe, a 1,400 meter range, which is insane for just a infantry, a normal infantry squad. So they have a very good anti-tank weapon. You know, it doesn't have much armor penetration, so you kind of have to account for that. And here we have a Saving Private Ryan D-Day assault landing up. But instead of US Army, we do have a bunch of, I believe these are an American ones, aren't they? Yeah, okay, US Marines instead. For a second I thought these were the South Korean LVTPs, but the South Korean ones have a really scary sark face on the front. And these guys do not. And the LVTP's going to be unloading, Marines going to be storming the beachhead. They're going to be running into machine gun and cannon fire. That's using cheaper LVTPs, just with the 50 count, you can get a run for 5 points more. That does also have an automatic grenade launcher. Personally, I always think it's better just to have the automatic grenade launcher, because grenade launchers are great at stunning enemy units, and they're absolutely devastating. But these Marines are actually going to be foot zerging right into enemy territory. See how far they can make it into Alpha, maybe knock out the CV. Sea Cobra giving some long range support. Yeah, it seems like Brutoni is actually just playing a full Marine deck. US Marine deck to be exact. There's some T-62Ms, T-80B now being brought up. He's bringing up anti-tank, or tanks that are better dealt with dealing with tanks against infantry. If he could get like maybe a Hind, something with an auto cannon, could do a fair bit better. These guys can still mess up the infantry, but are a lot more slower rate. Now T-80B, getting shot up by RPGs, or laws to be more precise. And Redfor, they just need to try and stop his push right now. Depending on what happens here, will depend if Blufor wins or not, because Redfor is so bleeding close to victory. Blufor needs to knock out the CV ASAP. And oh, they are doing that. They got some Peace Rhines and a Tornado ECR. Peace Rhines are ATGM planes. They're going to be trying knocking out some of the tanks. But those Australas, yeah, Australas giving them no haste. And scan them off when the Australas aren't radar, so the ECR cannot pick it up. But Marines have so far made it to the first forest line, without seeing not too many casualties. That's going pretty good for them. They're going to be low on the tanks. The laws don't have great anti-tank penetration. It's like 11 or 12 AP, which is rubbish. So they're going to have a bit of a hard time knocking out some of the more heavier tanks. But the PTs and probably that T-55 will go down in just a few shots. Marines are moving up. Stunning out PT. And Redfor, they're just actually have Delta engulfed and almost have it completely under control. They moved up the Spatzers into the other side of the river. Blue Force is going to try and hold back this assault as long as possible. Bringing up another CV, just trying to neutralize Gulf. This time I think it's just a very funny looking TPC Fuchs wannabe with a bit of a hump on the back. And technically 2 machine guns. Odd looking vehicle. Oh, has it been neutralized? Oh, they knocked out the Bravo CV. Oh, that is good. That is quite good. And they neutralized Goof. So now they stopped Redfor from gaining any points. And it's going to be up to the Marines to try and knock out the CV back here. It might be quite hard to have some BMP Rundies now with Mark Strackley in tow. And Rundies are a very nasty anti-infantry unit, thanks to the fact they have an automatic grenade launcher. It's at a time where just one of these boats could just naval bombard the crap out of them. They're doing really good. No, we actually have a looter here from Redfor. And he's going to be moving in. They run alone. I believe this is a frigate. It's a pretty decent sized ship, but it will knock out these smaller coastal ships with relative ease. This here has a lot more HP. There's sails across. Blufor's gonna need. Oh, they have to get a Tornado MFG, and it has to be enough to knock it out. Boom goes the dynamite. and using that plane to great effect. It's usually great to use anti-ship planes when the ship is all alone, so it's CIW, or so there won't be a whole bunch of CIWS to shoot down all the missiles, because even if like 2 of those missiles hit out of 4, that's a dead ship. Those missiles do phenomenal damage against ships. There's some Fountjagers in here now. But these are the 75 version of Fountjagers, so no crazy G11 or Panzerfaust 3. So they have an MP2 or literally an Uzi to fight against these guys in here. In Redfor, they really do have the infantry advantage in here. Autocannon, Spetsnaz, a lot of Spetsnaz, VMF, Concours, Strelas, Niglas, just bloody surrounded everywhere. It's going to be really hard for NATO to like break his line, but if they can just at least neutralise these 2 points, which they're doing right now, they can start gaining some points to victory. That's from KA-29 PLs being brought out. Anti-ship helicopters. Almost getting killed. We also have some F-18E sub-Hornets, anti-ship missile of the Hornet. And finally, we have these ships moving closer to inland. And at this range, they should be able to do a bit of bombardment. If they're guns, at least the Baykook. Baykook has like, I think 3,000 meter range? 2,000, 3,000? Not entirely sure. More Marines coming into Alpha. Continuous naval assault here. Put the 1Ds here, and now the Baykook and Chamsu, we can start firing on the vehicles in this forest line. They also have a Hart Abrams now, or HC Abrams. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's smart. He has them in the transport thing. There's quite a few M1 Abrams variants. Most of them, except for like the M1A2, they are considered marine units, so you can get them in landing craft, which is absolutely insane. I think it's the heaviest tank you can fit inside a landing craft is the M1A1 Abrams, or an M1A1 HC Abrams. And that's to be able to just knock out these C-62s and Concours with relative ease. The ATGM is going to do quite a bit of damage, and again, the second TV. Probably try and neutralise Alpha, or just a safety for Alpha. Second Abrams being brought, Cobra for recon. I'm really amazed that Redfor haven't brought out any like anti-tank planes, or really any planes or helicopters at all, because there's no AA here. These Chamsuris and Baykooks may have AA guns, but they won't be able to shoot all the way inland. So just a Hind or KA-50 could really help stop this little push. If Cobra, oh, he's going to spot the UAC, the lone UAC in the open field, getting completely sniped. And, oh, did they get the CV in Alpha? Oh, they got the CV in Alpha. And that is going to be neutralised. Blufor gaining a +3 advantage at the moment. And now, if they can just capture Alpha and be able to spawn out of it, that'd be an entirely different ballgame. Now Redfor, they still have a Foxtrot, and then Foxtrot they can still get out their plane, so they haven't lost their air corridor quite yet. They can still come back from this. It's just whether they try and take back Alpha and defend Bravo a bit more, or just try to steamroll through Hotel and into Juliet, because they do have quite an idea of the advantage here. You know, a lot of it is infantry, not really mobile stuff. So it's a bit more of a defensive force. Spets has holding off against commandos, Dorniers coming in, but the Blufor infantry did not have a spark on the Spetsnaz, or don't light a flame to the Spetsnaz. Capturing Bravo, commandos, commando CV. And there's absolutely nothing left in Alpha. Well, there goes AK, 1110. Bit of a premature surrender, I think. They're pretty close to bloody victory. There's you dropping some bombs, getting the smalls. Trini Huey's landed in, and now Blufor just taking advantage of his complete naval advantage, or naval dominance, I should really say. Just bringing out a bunch of infantry, some tanks. just trying to secure Alpha for themselves. Oh, that's the other Huey CV. Oh, good idea for Mr. Brutoni to get in his deck. Helicopter CVs are a bit more useful now, because you can get them in these types of situations where you do have the enemy like main base killed, and you can capture them via the navy. So helicopter CVs really do have more of a use in an airland battle. Where in an airland battle, people just use helicopter CVs for like a quick initial rush to try and capture a point, so you can spawn stuff out of it. We have a bunch of MiG-23 MLs flying around. Don't know what they're really trying to achieve here. I wasn't really anything aircrafty to shoot down that outrun Cobra. And you have the Super Hornet chasing them. They're going to be intercepting the Su-24. But it's going to evac due to out of ammo. Or I think it's out of petrol. No, evac ordered. He's told to get out of here. Mi-24P. That's some good old helicopters. This is what Redfor needed before. They just needed some helicopters. Some good old Heinche, because there's no AA to stop him whatsoever, except for the enemy planes. But planes aren't really the best anti-helicopter counter. Oh, these guys actually got a little bit burned. Here capturing Alpha and Yago Snakeshit right when that capture happens. And Blufor might just bring themselves back to victory, it seems. Redfor kind of just losing all hope. Didn't like losing that Alpha point, but they Hind getting shot down. But if they just had a couple naval units, because Blufor they just got 2 really cheap coastal boats, just sailed right in. Huh, there's nothing here. Let's just get a bunch of US Marines and land right into Alpha, because right now, why not? And now they're moving into Bravo. They're going to come and get the commandos in here. And I think it's probably just going to be a GG from Redfor. But yeah, they just rolled right into Alpha. There's nothing to really stop them. Even just a few Jiangshus or Luders would have been enough to stop that whole naval push. And they just moved into Alpha. Managed to keep putting the pressure on it. Neutralize the CV. And Redfor surrounded. And well, being surrounded is never really nice whatsoever. But yeah, very good win from Blufor. Managing to take the victory. Very close to losing actually, but just managing to get the CVs and capture the back of Redfor's main line. So yeah, very good game, and that's all I have time for. This has been another Rangaroo cast. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.